Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was the 32nd President of the United States. He was born in Hyde Park, New York, United States, on January 30, 1882. His father's name was James Roosevelt, and mother's name was Sarah Ann Delano. His father was a businessperson. Franklin grew up in a wealthy and influential New York family. He attended Groton School, Harvard College, and Columbia Law School, going on to practice law in New York City. Roosevelt graduated from Harvard in 1903 with a Bachelor of Arts in History. In 1904, Roosevelt entered Columbia Law School but dropped out of the same as he had cracked the New York bar exam. His first employment was at the Wall Street firm of Carter, Ledyard and Milburn, dealing mainly with corporate law. He married Eleanor Roosevelt on March 17, 1905. The couple was blessed with 6 children. Roosevelt became active in politics in 1910 when he was elected to the New York State Senate and, later, the Assistant Secretary of the Navy. However, his career stopped for a while in 1921 when he became sick with polio. Although he survived his bout with polio, he nearly lost the use of his legs. For the rest of his life, he could only walk a few short steps by himself. Franklin's wife Eleanor told her husband not to give up. So, despite his condition, he continued with both his law and political career. In 1929, he was elected governor of New York, and after serving 2 terms as governor, he decided to run for president in the 1932 election. In 1932, the country was in the midst of the Great Depression. People were looking for some new ideas, leadership, and hope. They elected Franklin Roosevelt, hoping he had the answers. When Roosevelt entered office as president, the first thing he did was to sign a number of new bills into laws in an effort to fight the Great Depression. These new laws included programs such as Social Security to help retirees, the FDIC to help secure bank deposits, work programs such as the Civilian Conservation Corps, new power plants, aid for farmers, and laws to improve working conditions. Finally, he established the Security and Exchange Commission to help regulate the stock market and hopefully prevent any future collapses in the financial markets. All of these programs together were called the New Deal. In his first 100 days of being president, Roosevelt signed 14 new bills into law. This time became known as Roosevelt's 100 Days. In 1940, Roosevelt was elected to his 3rd term as president. World War II had broken out in Europe, and Roosevelt promised that he would do what he could to keep the U.S. out of the war. However, on December 7, 1941, Japan bombed the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor. Roosevelt had no choice but to declare war. Roosevelt worked closely with the Allied powers to help fight back against Germany and Japan. He partnered with Winston Churchill of Great Britain, as well as Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. He also laid the groundwork for future peace by coming up with the concept of the United Nations. He died in Warm Springs, Georgia, United States, on April 12, 1945, at the age of 63. Happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort, said Franklin D. Roosevelt.